Hey fire signs, let's go ahead and get a look at your 2026 year ahead. This is a broad collective read looking at the energies of this upcoming year and what I feel for you. If you'd like a personalized yearly reading, you can go ahead and book a 60-minute reading. I've got a link below. But this is going to be for fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Thanks so much for being here, you guys. My name is Heather with Heather's Healing, and we're going to look at each quarter of the year and get some guidance for you. But I wanted to start off with the colors that came through for fire signs. I found it pretty interesting. So the colors that came through for you guys are yellow and orange. And yellow is the color of this year. If you haven't watched my 2026 year ahead, I talk more about that in that video. But yellow is the color of happiness. It connects in with your inner child. It connects in, obviously, with the energy of the sun, which is fantastic. It helps you stand in your personal power, but it also, and you'll see a theme, it also helps to purify the body. So working with the color yellow, the yellow ray helps to purify the body. It's great for arthritis. It's really good for clearing up the skin if you have acne or anything like that. It's fantastic for digestion. So I found that interesting. The other color that came up was orange. Orange connects in with your sacral chakra. It connects in with your creativity and sensual side, but it also helps to absorb trauma. It helps to absorb shock. It helps heal. It helps heal self-abuse, so any kind of destructive patterning, orange and the orange ray can help to break that. And orange is also really good for digestion. It's great for the lungs, the heart. So if you suffer from asthma or inflammation, the color orange can really help a lot. And it also increases happiness and confidence. I found it interesting that both orange and yellow, both colors that came through for you guys, talked about purifying the body and also digestion. So pay attention to your digestion this year. Maybe you'll have problems with it, maybe you won't. But it also really is telling me it's important to watch what you're digesting. What are you watching? What are you listening to? And are you able to digest that information? So be very mindful of that. I think it's really easy for us to forget how much we are impacted by what we see and hear. If you're seeing it, you're hearing it, you're experiencing it on some level. So be mindful of that. And also, use the orange ray, call in the color orange if you need help absorbing trauma, shock, abuse, anything like that. Healing from any kind of trauma, orange can really help you with that. So I found that really interesting, fire signs. Earth signs had a message about detoxifying the body. So there's a lot this year around detoxing the body, purifying the body. The crystals that I picked out, the spirit picked out, I found interesting. Orange calcite, again, we're connecting with the color orange. But also sapphire, which is the complementary color to orange. But sapphire is connecting with your inner wisdom. So I thought that was really interesting. So both of those crystals can be like your power crystals for the year. I like to look at the colors because they give a lot of information and guidance. So that's why I pull those in. And I also work with color a lot in healing. All right, so quarter one, fire signs. Let's go ahead and get started. Quarter one, January, February, March. What do we got? Relaxation. I love this color. Number 39. It says peaceful pursuits, happy times. So kind of easing into the year. That feels really nice. Relaxation. That's also a great way to help with digestion. And purifying the body as well, detoxing the body. So let's look at January. I'm going to pull a tarot card for January, February, March. We'll see what we get here for fire signs. So January, February. And I don't know if I said this, but watch this. Check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus as well. All right. So overall energy for this quarter, relaxation. I always find January kind of the month of digesting 2025, you know, the previous year. So January, we've got the 10 of Swords. So no wonder you're wanting to, or you're being given the information to relax. We've got the 10 of Swords. 10, this is a 10 year, completing a cycle, but also feeling very exhausted. This is overcoming difficulty. This is probably a challenge that you were dealing with in 2025, and it feels like you are at the end of that, or you have come to some kind of conclusion to whatever that difficulty is. But this is overcoming difficulty, overcoming stress, probably a lot of mental, emotional stress. But you're at the end of that. So January, a month of just decompression is what I'm hearing for fire signs. February, let's see what we have. Four of Wands. I really like this energy. I love the Four of Wands. In this card, it feels very reflective. So February feels like a very stable month for you. Some of you could be getting married, or, you know, committing to a relationship. The Four of Wands can talk about that. But what I'm feeling here for the month of February for you guys is reflecting on the previous year, but also kind of tuning into what is it that you want for yourself in this upcoming year? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What are your hopes and dreams? What would help you feel more confident, more alive, more connected to your creative self? The month of February is reflecting on all of that. I love the energy of the Four of Wands. It does kind of remind me of the color orange. It is very sensual. It's warm. It's connecting with other people. It is committing to yourself. It's committing possibly to a partner, but it also is celebration, and it's like crossing a finish line in a lot of ways. And I feel like that is tied to whatever this difficulty is that you are overcoming or have overcame. And again, I do feel like this is something from 2025, a hurdle, an obstacle, you know, something that was incredibly difficult. And you're feeling more energized come February. Oh, I love this card. I think Earth signs had this card. So March, we have the Ace of Cups. And this reminds me of the energy of Imbolc, where it is coming to life. It's emerging from the cold. I love the white and the red in this card. But the Ace of Cups, this is new love, new connection coming in March. This could be a new opportunity, but this is going to be something that you have an emotional connection to. You feel excited about. There's passion there. There is an emotion that is driving you forward. So the month of March, it has a really warm feel to it as well for fire signs. So new opportunities here around love, partnership, commitment. It could be also, I'm hearing relocation. So the Ace of Cups, it does kind of have a Cancer energy to it. So connecting or relocating to a new home, making your home a more comfortable place, that type of energy here in the month of March with the Ace of Cups, which I really like that. So 10, 4, and Ace. March is new. new energies coming in. I also find it interesting looking at just the colors here. January and February have a similar feel about them. It's kind of the cards are darker in color, so they feel deep rooted in, kind of going within, and then come March, it's emerging. There's more light. It is expressing yourself, also feeling very confident. I mean, notice how much of her neck she's exposing. She's feeling very trusting of those around her. And she's also, it's being very vulnerable, showing your neck like that, you know? Interesting. Yeah, I like that. Really nice energy here. So that is quarter one for fire signs. Let's take a look at quarter two. April, May, June. April, May, June. I think this year is going to be a really interesting year for everybody. I also, just in my own meditations, I get big hits on the month of March and also the month of May. So it feels like there's a lot of energy in those months. I'm not really sure what's going on, but those months light up in my meditations for the collective. So I think it's going to be an interesting year. Challenging. It's definitely a challenging year, but each of us have our own story in this year. So of course, all of our experiences are going to be very different. Quarter two, overall energy of quarter two, overall energy, advice and guidance for quarter two. We have an archangel showing up here. I'm not sure how to say his name. Hope, optimism, and new beginnings coming in quarter two, which kind of makes sense because we had that Ace of Cups for March. So that is new beginnings around emotional connections, spirituality, tapping into spiritual gifts. I really feel that since we do have an archangel showing up here. Is this Manuel type energy? I don't know. That's what it feels like. Hope, optimism, and new beginnings. And spring, that is the energy of spring too. So let's go ahead and look at, so April, May, June for fire signs. April, May, June. Show me the month of April. I love the castle in the background. I love the rainbow colors here. And again, there's a reflective energy to this. So I feel like whatever you whatever you've been really focusing on or putting emotional energy into, it's going to be manifesting this spring. So be very mindful of your emotions. But I do feel like this, whatever this new beginning is here, this started back in 2025. These were seeds that you were planting last year. All right, April, May, and June. So April, we have the Three of Pentacles. Kind of makes sense. We have new beginnings here. So Three of Pentacles, this feels like showing off your work. So getting credit for your work, getting credit for being noticed for your skills. This is something unique to you. That's what I'm feeling in April. So showing off your gifts, getting paid for your gifts, but getting recognition for whatever is unique to you. Gifts that you bring to the world, services you bring to the world. It could be what you do for a living, but you're getting recognition in the month of April. And this also opens doors to collaboration and connecting with other people. It's networking. This could also be people seeking you out for your services. So April could be a really lucrative month for you money-wise. Right? April, May. Okay, May. We have the energy of the Five of Wands here. So, okay, so April, May. Yeah, see, May is a month that's been standing out to me. So Five of Wands, this could be healthy competition, although this card here, it looks like two people having a bit of a fallout. You know, they're not agreeing. It's not a breakup, but it could be arguing with your loved ones, not seeing eye to eye with someone you care about, people close to you. So May could be a little bit of a bumpy month. Just keep that in mind. And, you know, communication is going to be your best ally. So speak up, say how you're feeling, communicate. Not the time to shut down or isolate. That's so interesting. I don't know why, but lately I have been on, it started off March, I felt this way. Feelings around isolation, a need for the collective to stand up and speak up. But I feel that in May. It just makes me wonder what's going on in the world at this time. What kind of shenanigans are the powers that be? What are they doing? I feel that with this card. But again, for you guys, communication, speaking up, again, not the time to isolate or, you know, pull back or wither or give in. You have a voice, and you have feelings, needs, and it's important that you speak up about it. June, we have the Four of Cups. I like that you guys had the Four of Wands, and now we have the Four of Cups. So this does feel kind of despondent. I won't lie. That's what I feel here. The Four of Cups can be disappointment, but quite often it's just you're not seeing an opportunity. There's opportunities there, but you're not seeing them. Maybe because you were really set in your way, and you were really set in, no, it has to happen this way. And if it doesn't happen this way, I'm not interested in it. So, you know, there's opportunities here. Things might not be going your way, but they're still working out for you. There's opportunities here, so be open to seeing that. The other thing interesting that's standing out to me, just like the Ace of Cups card that we had, the red really is standing out. So you could be challenged. Your root chakra could be challenged. So you might not be feeling safe and secure. That could be that could be a block that's standing in your way. But yeah, that red is really standing out to me. And also she's exposing her neck too. So feeling very vulnerable, but the focus on the throat, there is definitely a need to, again, speak up. You know, your voice has a frequency, it has power, and you need to, you know, advocate for yourself. So make sure you are standing up for yourself and what you need. And also remember, you are safe. We've got an angel here watching over the second quarter for you. So be sure to ask for guidance from God, source, whatever higher power you believe in, and be open to receiving information from your guides, because they're always speaking to us. They're always giving us messages, but quite often, you know, we just aren't open to hearing them. I kind of like this. So we've got the 2 here, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a process, there's a reason for everything. But you are on track. But you might not feel like you are. All right, quarter three. So let's see, July, August, September. fire signs. Whoops. Fire signs. Quarter 3, what do we need to know? What is the overall energy going on here for fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. Quarter 3. We got another archangel, Archangel Raziel here with wisdom, inspiration, and Akashic records. And I love the purple color on here. So connecting in with that lilac color might be really helpful third quarter. It's also card number 10, which again, we're in a 10 year. So completions, completing new cycles. But the other thing I feel here with Archangel Raziel is he steps in a lot for me and shows up a lot for me in sessions when I'm dealing with death, you know, sadness around people missing, you know, missing their relatives, missing their loved ones, people crossing over. So that could be something here too. You could be, it doesn't have to be death. It could be crossing a threshold. You know, it's stepping into a new version of yourself, stepping into a new version of your life. But I will say quarter 3 feels very significant for fire signs. It feels like a time of change. That's what I'm feeling. Now the card is, the card says wisdom, inspiration, and Akashic records. So tapping into your intuition, tapping into your inner wisdom. This would be a great month to be working with Sapphire, the energy of Sapphire. Your psychic abilities as well could be coming online or really strengthened during the third quarter. So July, August, September. And again, if you'd like a personal look at your year ahead, we can do the same thing, but instead of collective, it would be for you personally. And the link is below. Okay. July, August, September. What do fire signs need to know about the month of July? July, Ace of Cups. August. Wow, 3 cards, September. Well, like I said, this does feel like there's a lot of energy this quarter. There's a lot happening. July. So we're going back to the month of March with that Ace of Cups. So it could be that the seeds sown in March or whatever new thing came into being back in March, it's being strengthened, it's growing, it's becoming more in July. But again, it's connecting into, and I love this because July, tapping into that Cancer season. I'm really feeling that here. Again, this card is not necessarily a Cancer card, but that's what I'm feeling here. So a big focus on home, family, close friends and family are going to be really important. I'm also hearing birth. So this could literally be, you know, people giving birth, new children coming in, but this could also be the blossoming of a relationship that went stale. If it feels like this is renewed energy in July. And it could be something entirely new, but it feels more like it's renewed or refreshened or revisited in July, not necessarily something totally new. And I really am feeling this connected more to your personal relationships rather than anything else. That's kind of what I'm feeling there for July. August. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Seven of Swords. Beautiful cards. Knight of Wands. So August, I'm going to say, don't rush into anything. Don't be impulsive. I feel like that could come back to, you know, bite you in the ass. Interesting here with the Seven of Swords. We've got a lady that looks like she's fleeing. And this person here on this card looks a little pissed off. So August, not everything is as it appears to be. Don't be paranoid, but be cautious. Again, don't rush into anything. If this is regarding a relationship, a new relationship, you know, give it some time. Ask a lot of questions. Don't be impulsive. The Seven of Swords, the Seven of Swords energy, there often is a deception here. There can be a deception here. Not all the cards are on the table. Not everything is as it seems to be. But I also have the feeling of whatever is, if this is a person leaving your life, it was meant to be. And, you know, let them go. That feels in relation to a romantic relationship. Regarding business dealings in August, if you have a business partner, I feel like there could be some deception around that person or around money matters. So just be mindful of that. Pay attention to what's going on around you in August. Again, don't be paranoid. Don't freak out. Don't be paranoid, but be cautious. Not everyone is, you know, being their best self in August. Excuse me. Where are we? September. I love this Hermit card. Look at her. She's got a crow. I love that. Feels very fiery. So we've got the Six of Cups. We got the Queen of Wands. Nice. I really like this energy. So I feel like whatever, I hate to say negative but I don't know what other word to use. It feels like if there was anything unfortunate or negative, or any kind of trauma that happened to you in August, you're recovering from that in September. Going back to August, again with the don't be impulsive and don't rush into anything. Be mindful. Don't rush just because accidents happen. So be mindful. Again, pay attention to what's going on around you, because for whatever reason, people aren't really paying attention in August. So September, you could be recovering from an accident, an illness. Cancel, clear, delete. We're not calling that energy in for anyone, but you could be recovering. The Hermit card, this is going within. This is gathering your wisdom, your strength. What have you learned? You're kind of, it feels like figuring out your next move is kind of what this feels like as well. But, you know, you've learned a lot. You're a very wise person. You're also receiving, again, a lot of information from the angelic realm, from the higher realms. So pay attention to the information that you're receiving. We've got the Six of Cups. And I love this card too. It kind of looks like, you know, it feels a little sad. It can feel a little nostalgic, but I do feel there is an energy, and I feel like this is tied into this Hermit card of looking back over the past. And I feel like some of you are trying to retrace your steps and figure out, where did I go wrong? Well, we never really go wrong. Everything happens for a reason, but it feels like you're trying to figure out, how did I miss this? Or how did I not see this? Or, what am I not understanding? There's that energy here. And it could also be that, traumas and things from your childhood could be surfacing in September. Maybe whatever happened in August triggers some of that, and it's okay. Allow it to come up, feel it, release it. It's coming up because it needs to be healed, but it's also giving you a lot of information too. I love the energy of the Hermit, and this is the type of person, or energy that you're gathering your wisdom, your insights, what you have learned from your life, and you can share it with others. You are, when someone else is going through something similar, you'll have information and wisdom to help them. So, I think that's, even though it can really suck at the time, it's a really beautiful thing. But then we also have the Queen of Wands. So September, you might start off feeling, not super great, but you end the month feeling very empowered. And Queen of Wands, this is your card. This is you. Kind of has the energy of rising from the ashes here. It has that Phoenix energy. I love this Queen of Wands, standing fully in her power, feeling very bold, charismatic. It's like you get your mojo back by the end of September. So whatever wounds you were licking, this is something that you get through pretty quickly, because I do feel by the end of the month you are feeling much more like yourself, and again, standing in your true power. It could also be with this Hermit card that maybe you had just been putting too many, you hadn't been prioritizing yourself, and you've been putting other people first, and you're just worn out. So it's not going to be, it doesn't have to be something catastrophic or major. So just keep that in mind. But I love this Queen of Wands. Just wanted to look at some of the numbers here. 9, 7, 6, 10. Okay. So that is quarter 3. So far, quarter 3 is the quarter for you guys that has the most energy. I want to say the most bang for your buck. There is like a punch of energy here. Quarter 3. All right, let's look at quarter 4. October, November, December. But again, going back to the orange and yellow, look at the yellow, going back to the orange and yellow colors that came through for you guys, there's a lot that you are digesting. There's a lot that you're processing. And I don't feel like all that you are processing is coming from this year. A lot of it is coming from the past. So there's a lot of healing and shifting and growing happening for you this year, which is great. All right, quarter 4 for fire signs. Fire signs watching this video. Overall energy. Last quarter of the year. I'm just hearing hooray. Some of you, I think, are going to be really excited for this year to be over. But enjoy the process, We have card 31. So 4s have been coming up a lot for you. This card says beneath the surface. And I feel like the card or the number 4 coming up for a lot of you, I feel like your stability or your idea of what stable is could be challenged this year. So beneath the surface, hold on one sec. I need to take a drink really quick. I've been talking a lot today. Quarter 4, beneath the surface, hidden truths, something unknown. I feel like this is tying back into, what month was that? August? This could be tying back into August. Again, the energy of maybe retracing your steps. There's an interesting energy here, and I've brought up Cancer more than once in this reading. So it could be a Cancer sign that is showing up for you in not a super great way. But there is something here this whole year. Things aren't quite as they seem. There's that type of energy here for fire signs. And it could be people aren't showing up authentically. I don't know, there's something here. And the reason why I'm thinking about this in connection with Cancer is connected with the Moon card in the tarot. Yeah, I'm just kind of feeling that energy here for some reason. It's Cancer, and when I think of Cancer, it's not always necessarily connected with the moon, but it's not, things aren't clear, you know, there's something hidden, things aren't quite as they seem. Anyway, that's what this card is saying here too. Interesting. I don't know exactly what's going on with that. Okay, October, November, December. It could be a Pisces too, because Pisces, yeah, I don't know, water signs. Something with water and water signs. All right, beneath the surface, something unknown. This could be hidden truths about yourself that you're discovering, especially since we had that Hermit card in September. All right, so October. November, December. All right, October, what do we have? Page of Cups. Here we go again with the cups. Lots of cups coming up. Anyway, I love this card. We've got a mermaid here. I love the energy of the Page of Cups. So this could be a gift, someone offering you a gift. This could be someone, a romantic fling happening in October. Probably wouldn't be long lasting, but something fun. It can also be new love. There is a similar energy with the Page of Cups and the Ace of Cups that can be connected to new love or immature love. But there's a playfulness. The Page of Cups can also be a happy surprise. So, you know, a romantic fling, a happy surprise, something that you weren't expecting, that kind of like takes your breath away. It's a fun energy. So enjoy the playfulness of October. There definitely is a playful energy here and people showing up for you in a playful way. And maybe you need that. This feels like a nice break. Retreat, fun, just enjoy it. November, we've got the Star. I love this card. It's a beautiful card. So I feel like there's a recovery type of an energy here. So I feel like any kind of physical healing that you've been going through or any kind of physical challenges you've had, you are either healed or are healing. You're on the mend come November. This is good news coming in. It's around health-related situations. Good news is coming in. But the Star asks you to have faith. There is a feeling to this year for you, all of you fire signs. It's like you can feel something or you can sense something, but you can't quite put your finger on it. It kind of feels like that all year. Like you just can't quite not everything is out on the table. It's not totally clear. So that requires a lot of faith. And the Star card is asking you to have faith, to surrender, and to trust. And to trust that all of your needs will be met, because they will. That's the Star card. It's a very positive card. And I often see it show up when people have been through some pretty major challenges. And it's kind of like a respite, a break, a retreat. It's that type of energy. So November, have faith. Everything's going to work out. It might not feel like it at the time, but it is. December, we're ending with the 5 of Cups. It is an emotional year. You're feeling a lot of feelings. So allow yourself to feel that. 5 of Cups. This is feeling, this can be the card of grief. Again, we've got another mermaid. I don't know. Maybe is it tied into this Page of Cups? Maybe you were really hoping that this person, this relationship was going to be more than what it was. It could be tied into October. This could also just be a standalone feeling. This is the card of grief, but what I'm feeling here, this can also be the card of isolation and loneliness. But I feel like in December, some of you might be feeling like you are, like you're behind, like you're watching everybody else and things seem to be clicking and falling into place, but it isn't for you. So there could be a feeling of like being left out, or feeling maybe abandoned or alone. And I'm going to say, just sit with that, because it's not going to stay that way. So sit with that. I don't want to end on that because that's kind of a bummer. One more card. One more card. Guidance on this fourth quarter for fire signs. Fire signs, you got a lot of water. You've got a lot of water going on this year. I just heard some bells. I don't know where that was coming from. Maybe that's just a sign that the angels are near you. Fourth quarter, you're surrounded. You're surrounded by living energies. All right. Look, we got the moon. You know what? Surrender, have faith. We've got the moon. Yeah, exactly that. Not all is what it seems. There is just, you're going to have to just have a lot of faith this fourth quarter. I would say connect with people that love you and you love them and you trust. I think this year it's going to be really important to stay connected with the people that you trust, the people that know you, that are in your inner circle. Those are your people. That feels really important for fire signs. There was something else I was going to say, and now I've forgotten. With this moon card, it was something about the people that you trust. Oh, shoot. Maybe it'll come back to me. But also during this time, connect with that yellow ray. Call in the yellow ray. And all you need to do that is, and same with the orange ray, you might want to do both. Imagine this yellow light coming down from the heavens and surrounding you and infusing you with its energy. That feels like a really nice pick-me-up for this fourth quarter. So connect with that yellow ray, the orange ray. Work with the orange calcite if you have orange calcite. That's a really good mood booster and also physical booster. I think it's going to be really important fourth quarter to keep your frequency up. I know people talk about frequency a lot, but the way that I see frequency is that's how strong your auric field is. If you have a low frequency, your auric field is not as expansive, it's weakened, and it can get little tears and perforations in it, and that can allow in negative attachments. So do your best to keep your frequency up, and sometimes if you are going through a lot emotionally, that's hard. That can be hard to do, because you know, don't fake how you feel. That's not going to help you. But you know, wearing crystals, smoky quartz, black tourmaline, you know, this is where crystals really come in handy. You know, have them on you, wear them. They work on your auric field. They work on your frequency. So that feels really important for this fourth quarter. All right. That still kind of feels like a bummer though. Okay, one card. Can we one more card? And then I want to pull, I want to see what archetype is working through each of you, each sign this year. So I'm going to pull a card on that. But guides and guardians for fire signs. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about. Well, the message isn't what I was looking for, but I love the color. So let's just look at the color. We have card number 11, emotional desert, inactivity and isolation. Well, shit. That's kind of what this card is. That's kind of this last part of the year, you know, you could be feeling isolated. But look at this beautiful color. This is the yellow ray. Imagine yourself being surrounded in this yellow color. This is going to be very helpful. Okay, so, oh, I do like that. We got achievement on the bottom, completion reward. All right, so what archetype is working through each sign? I thought this would be interesting to do. I do this a lot in the personal readings that I do for the yearly previews. It can give you clues as to what you're learning this year, what you're working on, how the year is going to roll out for you, because there's always lessons that we're needing to learn and ways that we're being challenged to grow. So what is the archetype working through Aries? What is the archetype that is working through Aries? And this can also show you where the energy that you're being asked to hold, and it can show you the shadow, the energies that you're meant to look at and release. Archetype for Leo. Oh, there's two. I was going to say it feels like two. And then the archetype for Sag. These are the archetypes working through you, that are being expressed through you. I'm interested to see what these are. I think that can tell us a lot about this year. Because fire signs, this feels very unique to just your guys' experience this year. Hedonist, Aries. I don't know why I find that kind of funny, but maybe it's because I know a few Aries that I would definitely say hedonist is an archetype of theirs. So light attributes. Inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life. Celebrates the beauty in yourself. So these are, you know, things that you could be working on, or things that you could be challenged with. The shadow of the hedonist is pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. And I did see that energy playing out in some of these cards for this year. So Aries, this is the archetype working through you. So don't be surprised if you notice these sides of yourself. And it could be that you're bouncing back and forth between the two. as well. So beautiful energy. Create something beautiful. I think that would be really fantastic for all of the Aries out there. Celebrate life. Embrace the good things in life. Celebrate yourself. Just don't go overboard with it. Leo. What are the archetypes working through Leo? We have the Destroyer. And we have the Artist. I do really like the energy of the Destroyer. But the Artist was on top. So let's keep that in mind. Let's look at the Destroyer. Leo, light attributes, releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for new life. And you guys had the Ace of Cups a couple of times, I think at least once or no, twice throughout this year. So that's new life. That's new stuff coming into your life. And oftentimes you do have to destroy things. You have to burn things down. You have to shed whatever is holding you back so that you can make room for the good and the new that is coming in. So that's the light of the Destroyer. The shadow side is intoxication with destructive power, destroying others' dreams or potential. And we definitely can see people in the world right now acting out this energy. I mean, it's all over the place. People that are just really enjoying hurting others for the sake of hurting others because they can. Both of these kind of have a similar energy, which is interesting. Yeah, so be mindful of that. You know, and just because you can overpower someone or you can outthink or, you know, just because you can doesn't mean that you should. And then you have the Artist, which I really love this. Light attributes. Expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. And I did mention, I think it was the 2026 reading that I did, that I was talking about how important it is this year, especially this year, that everybody taps into their gifts, their creativity, and you know, you share that with the world, because that is what helps lifts everybody up. It can bring comfort to people that need comfort. And our creativity, it's really powerful. And if it wasn't so powerful, it wouldn't be suppressed the way it is. We wouldn't be conditioned to suppress our creativity. So Leos, tap into that Artist, tap into that creativity, and inspire others. The shadow attributes is using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. So this kind of connects into that Four of Cups energy, the poor me, nothing ever works out for me, pity me, give me things, you know, it's that type of energy. So notice when the shadow energies are coming up, and notice when the light is coming up. These are archetypes that are working through you this year, and they're working through you this year for a reason. There's a purpose to it. So, Sag, what do you guys have? Oh, yay, you guys get the Prostitute. I think this is a really great card for Sagittarius. You guys are fun-loving, super, you know, inclusive, and all sorts of things. I like this. Prostitute, light attribute, accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. Really standing in your power and knowing what you can get for doing that. Accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. That's the light attribute to the Prostitute. The Shadow places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. And this whole year, it's about standing in our power. And in order to stand in our power, we have to know what that is. And I feel like that's why this year is going to be challenging, because our weaknesses are going to be challenged. Our fears are going to be challenged. So I think we're going to really intimately get to know what standing in our power means. And it feels like a double click for Sagittarius this year. Very interesting. Accentuates the power, the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. Hold on one sec. I want to just grab the book and see what else. I mean, at one time in our existence, I mean, prostitutes, that was the job to have. You know, they were honored and respected. All right, let's see. I just want to see what the book says. Bear with me, everyone. Oh, right here. Card number 4. The prostitute archetype engages lessons in the seller negotiation of one's integrity or spirit due to fears of physical survival or for financial gain. The other thing I wanted to bring up with that is I had mentioned the number 4 came up for fire signs quite a bit. So your stability and also the root chakra, remember I had mentioned that as well. Your survival, root chakra, your stability could be challenged. What your ideas around stability could be challenged. I feel like that this card's tapping into that. We prostitute ourselves when we sell our bodies or minds for money or when we compromise our morals and ethics for financial gain. That may include remaining in a marriage or a job that endangers our self-respect for reasons of financial security. The prostitute activates the aspects of the unconscious that are related to seduction and control and that render you as capable of buying a controlling interest in another person as you are of selling your own power. Once you become aware of its presence within you, the prostitute encircles you with a strong vibrational field that says not for sale. The core learning of the prostitute is that self-esteem and self-respect make you impervious to selling out. In identifying this archetype, ask yourself these questions. Have I ever sold out to people or organizations that I didn't truly believe in? Yes, I have. Have I ever remained in a situation that offered me financial protection because of a desire for financial security? Yes, I have. Have I ever put another person in the position of compromising him or herself in order to gain power over that individual? I don't think I've done that one. From another perspective, have I ever offered to help another who was weakened by his or her prostitute archetype? Do I judge others because they continually compromise themselves? Interesting. I like that. I like that perspective. This is taking me to addiction, drug addiction. And yet from another perspective, have I ever felt myself being pulled into a circumstance that would require me to sell out my ethics, but then found myself strong enough to say no? Ooh, interesting questions. So Sag, don't sell out. This is also the energy of, ooh, I just got chills on this one. This might be why, Sag in particular, you are feeling isolated. Now, I'm going to say this could probably go for all fire signs because these cards, especially the end of the quarter, came up for all of you. It could be that you, your integrity is really important to you, and you go against the crowd, you go against the narrative, and because of that, you are being shunned. That could be why you're feeling isolated. I would say that's a double click for Sagittarius because of this card. But yeah, don't sell out. What are the things that are important to you? What is the hill you would die on? It's that type of energy. And fire, I think that's for all fire signs. Wow, fire signs, your reading was really... It's really deep, and it also really makes me wonder what the hell is going on this year. I mean, I guess we're going to find out, right? All right, fire signs, that's what I have for you. Cheers and blessings on your 2026. And if you would like to dive deep into your personal reading, you can book a one-on-one. I'll have a link below. Take great care of yourself. Please like the video if you liked it and subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel. So take great care of yourself.